Ladies and gentlemen, strength isn't always about how much weight you can lift or how loud you can shout. It's not about showing off or demanding attention. Real strength is quiet, consistent, and resilient. It's the kind of strength that gets tested in the hardest moments of your life, the kind that keeps you standing when everything around you tries to knock you down. Today, I want to share with you 7 signs that show you are a truly strong person. And as I list these, I want you to reflect. Think about your life, your challenges, and the way you've navigated through them. Strength isn't given to you, it's built brick by brick, moment by moment. Knowing how to set boundaries and say no without guilt is one of the most powerful traits of a strong individual. In a world where expectations are high and demands come from all directions, the ability to prioritize yourself and your needs is essential. Saying no is not about being selfish or uncaring, it is about recognizing your limits and respecting them. When you consistently say yes to everything, you risk overextending yourself, losing focus on your goals, and sacrificing your well-being. Boundaries are the foundation of self-respect, and they communicate to others what you will and will not accept in your life. Many people struggle with saying no because they fear rejection or disapproval. They want to be liked, to be seen as helpful or agreeable. However, always agreeing to others' requests often leads to resentment and exhaustion. When you say yes to something that doesn't align with your values or priorities, you are, in effect, saying no to yourself. This constant self-sacrifice can leave you feeling drained and undervalued, even if your intentions were to help or please others. Strong individuals understand that their time and energy are finite. They recognize that they cannot pour from an empty cup. By setting boundaries, they ensure that they have enough resources to dedicate to the things that truly matter. This might mean turning down social invitations, declining additional responsibilities at work, or even distancing themselves from relationships that are emotionally draining. While these decisions may seem difficult in the moment, they ultimately lead to a more balanced and fulfilling life. Learning to say no requires a shift in mindset. It begins with the realization that you cannot please everyone no matter how hard you try. Trying to meet everyone's expectations is a losing battle that only leaves you feeling inadequate and overwhelmed. Strong people know that their worth is not determined by how much they do for others. They do not tie their value to how agreeable they are or how often they say yes. Instead, they prioritize their well-being and focus on their goals, understanding that this is the only way they can truly show up as their best selves. Saying no can also serve as a filter for your relationships. When you start setting boundaries, you may find that some people respect and support your choices, while others push back or become distant. This can be a painful realization, but it is also a valuable one. Those who truly care about you will understand and honor your need to protect your energy. On the other hand, those who only value you for what you can do for them may fall away, making space for healthier and more supportive connections in your life. The ability to say no is also closely tied to clarity and focus. When you set clear boundaries, you are better able to identify what truly aligns with your values and long-term goals. You no longer waste time and energy on things that do not serve you. This focus allows you to make progress in areas that are important to you, whether it's your career, relationships, or personal growth. Strong individuals know that every no to something that doesn't matter is a yes to something that does. Guilt often accompanies the act of saying no, but strong people learn to navigate this emotion. They understand that guilt is often a learned response, rooted in societal or cultural expectations that equate selflessness with virtue. They challenge this narrative by recognizing that prioritizing themselves is not wrong, it is necessary. They remind themselves that taking care of their own needs is not a betrayal of others, but an act of self-preservation. Another aspect of setting boundaries and saying no is communication. Strong people know how to articulate their boundaries clearly and assertively without hostility or defensiveness. They express their needs in a way that is respectful yet firm, ensuring that their message is understood. This might involve using phrases like, "I can't commit to this right now," or "that doesn't work for me." By communicating in this way, they reduce the likelihood of misunderstandings and help others see their decision as thoughtful rather than abrupt or dismissive. It's also important to note that setting boundaries is not a one-time act. It is an ongoing process that requires consistency and reinforcement. There will be moments when people test your limits or when circumstances challenge your resolve. Strong individuals remain steadfast in their boundaries, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. They recognize that every time they uphold their limits, they are reinforcing their self-worth and protecting their peace. Ultimately, the ability to set boundaries and say no without guilt is a hallmark of strength because it requires courage, self-awareness, and a deep sense of self-respect. It is not about shutting people out or refusing to help. It is about choosing how to invest your time and energy wisely. Emotional control is one of the most important qualities of a strong person. It's easy to react impulsively, especially when faced with adversity, criticism, or emotional triggers. But true strength comes from the ability to manage those emotions rather than letting them control your actions. Emotional control doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or pretending they don't exist. It means acknowledging your emotions, understanding their roots, and choosing to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. The first step to emotional control is self-awareness. You need to be in tune with your feelings and recognize when they are beginning to take over. Emotions can be powerful and intense, and when we're not aware of them, they can drive us to make decisions we later regret. Strong individuals understand that emotions are signals, not commands. They are not slaves to their feelings. Instead, they use their emotions as a guide to understanding what's happening inside them. Once you understand your emotional triggers, you can start to take charge of your response. When you feel anger or frustration rising, a strong person doesn't allow that emotion to dictate their behavior. Instead, they pause, they breathe, step back, and give themselves space to process the emotion before reacting. This doesn't mean avoiding confrontation or never addressing the issue at hand. It means approaching the situation with a clear mind, making decisions based on what is truly important rather than what's happening in the heat of the moment. One of the most powerful tools in emotional control is perspective. Strong individuals don't take everything personally. They understand that many situations are not about them, but rather about the other person's behavior, insecurities, or circumstances. This allows them to respond with empathy rather than defensiveness. Instead of getting caught up in the drama or reacting out of pride, they step back and consider the bigger picture. They understand that not everything requires a reaction. In fact, some of the most powerful responses are the ones that don't come at all. Another important aspect of emotional control is being able to express emotions in healthy ways. Holding everything inside can be just as damaging as reacting too quickly. Strong people know that it's important to express their feelings, but in ways that promote growth and understanding. They don't bottle up their emotions until they explode, but rather communicate their feelings calmly and respectfully. Whether it's through a conversation, journaling, or creative expression, they find outlets that allow them to release pent-up emotions without letting them spiral out of control. Resilience is a key component of emotional control. Life is full of setbacks, failures, and moments that test our emotional limits. But strong individuals know that their worth is not defined by their circumstances. They may experience disappointment or sadness, but they don't let those emotions consume them. Instead, they find ways to bounce back, learn from their experiences, and continue moving forward. They view challenges as opportunities to grow and become stronger. Their emotional control allows them to stay grounded and focused even in the face of adversity. Managing emotions is also about knowing when to let go. Strong people understand that holding on to negative emotions, whether it's anger, resentment, or regret, only keeps them stuck. They choose to release these feelings, not for the sake of others, but for their own peace of mind. They recognize that holding on to negativity only weighs them down, and in order to move forward, they need to let go of the past. Emotional control is not just about managing the present moment, but also about freeing yourself from the emotional baggage that holds you back from living fully. There's also a level of discipline required in emotional control. It takes a great deal of strength to resist the urge to react impulsively, especially in situations where emotions are running high. But strong individuals know that their actions will have consequences, and they choose to take responsibility for those consequences. They don't blame others for how they feel or allow their emotions to justify poor decisions. Instead, they take control of their reactions, ensuring that they act in alignment with their values, not their impulses. One of the greatest tests of emotional control comes in relationships. Whether it's with family, friends, or romantic partners, emotions can easily become tangled and complicated. In these situations, strong individuals remain calm and measured. They avoid getting caught up in power struggles, manipulation, or conflict for the sake of conflict. They understand that communication and understanding are key to resolving disagreements and building deeper connections. Instead of reacting out of fear, jealousy, or anger, they approach situations with a mindset of cooperation and respect. Emotional control also involves knowing when to ask for help. Strong individuals are not afraid to acknowledge when they need support, whether it's through therapy, talking to a friend, or engaging in mindfulness practices. They understand that seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but a demonstration of strength. It takes courage to face your emotions head on and to recognize that sometimes you can't manage everything on your own. The ability to control your emotions is not something that happens overnight. It's a skill that requires practice, patience, and self-compassion. But the more you practice emotional control, the more it becomes second nature. As you grow in this area, you will find yourself navigating life's challenges with more ease, more grace, and more confidence. Emotional control doesn't make you less human, it makes you more in tune with who you are and who you want to be. It's a sign of true strength because it allows you to stay in the driver's seat of your life no matter what comes your way. Embracing change is one of the most powerful signs of strength that a person can demonstrate. Change is inevitable in life, whether it's a shift in career, relationships, or even the way we see the world. And yet, many people resist change because it feels uncomfortable, uncertain, or even frightening. The unknown can be intimidating, but the ability to face change head-on with courage and an open mind is what truly sets strong individuals apart. The unknown keeps them from stepping into new opportunities. Instead, they view change as a chance for growth, a chance to learn, and a chance to transform into someone better. When faced with a change, strong people don't panic. Instead, they take a step back and assess the situation. They realize that change often comes with a sense of discomfort, but that discomfort is usually temporary. Instead of focusing on how difficult the transition may be, they focus on what they can learn from it and how they can move forward stronger. They look for the silver lining in any situation, and they understand that every change, no matter how challenging, holds the potential for personal development. One of the reasons why strong individuals can embrace change so well is because they have a clear sense of purpose. They know who they are, where they want to go, and what they want to accomplish. When change presents itself, they don't see it as a disruption, but as a potential stepping stone toward their goals. Whether it's a new job, a new city, or a new relationship, they are confident in their ability to navigate the transition because they trust themselves to handle whatever comes their way. This self-trust is a cornerstone of their strength, and it enables them to approach change with a positive mindset. Another reason strong people embrace change is that they understand that resistance only leads to frustration. Fighting against change, trying to control every aspect of life, can leave you exhausted and disillusioned. Strong individuals know that some things are beyond their control, and they choose to focus on what they can control: their responses, their actions, and their mindset. They don't waste time wishing things were different. They work with the reality they're facing, and they make the most of it. It's also important to note that strong people recognize that not all change is positive at first glance. Sometimes change involves loss, whether it's the end of a relationship, the loss of a job, or the passing of a loved one. In these moments, strength doesn't mean pretending everything is fine or avoiding the pain. Instead, it means accepting the change, grieving when necessary, and allowing yourself the time and space to heal. They know that loss is part of life and that moving forward is not always easy. But even in the face of adversity, they maintain the belief that change is still an opportunity for growth. Additionally, strong people are able to adapt to change without losing sight of their values. The world may change around them, but their core principles remain the same. They are grounded in what truly matters to them, and no matter what external changes may occur, they stay true to themselves. This inner strength allows them to make decisions that are aligned with their values, even in the midst of uncertainty. Embracing change is not about rushing into it or accepting it blindly. It's about accepting that change is an inevitable part of life and being willing to grow through it. When faced with change, strong people are able to maintain a sense of calm, adaptability, and focus. They don't let the unknown paralyze them. They use it as fuel to keep moving forward, knowing that every change brings the possibility of becoming a better version of themselves. True strength comes from within, and one of the most powerful qualities of a strong person is their ability to operate without seeking constant validation from others. Society often tells us that our worth is tied to external approval, whether from our peers, family, or the broader world. We are conditioned to seek out praise, recognition, and affirmation. But those who are truly strong don't rely on these external sources for their self-worth. Instead, they look within and find their value rooted in who they are, not what others think of them. The first step to embracing self-worth is understanding that external validation is fleeting. People's opinions are ever-changing. What one person admires today, another may criticize tomorrow. If you base your sense of value on how others see you, you will constantly find yourself on an emotional roller coaster. One day you're on top of the world, and the next you feel like you've lost everything. True strength comes from detaching your sense of self from the unpredictable opinions of others. You learn to trust that you are enough, regardless of what others say or do. People who don't seek constant validation are also able to stand firm in their decisions and beliefs, even when they are not popular. In a world full of opinions, trends, and expectations, it takes a great deal of courage to stick to your own path. Strong individuals understand that they cannot live their lives according to the whims and desires of others. They know what they want, and they pursue it with confidence, even if it means going against the grain. They don't need others to cheer them on or to agree with their choices. Their belief in themselves is enough to propel them forward. This doesn't mean that strong people are immune to doubt or that they never seek advice or feedback. Seeking advice from others can be valuable, especially when you're making important decisions. But ultimately, they make decisions based on their values, their knowledge, and their intuition. They do not depend on others' approval to feel confident in their choices. When they do receive feedback, they evaluate it objectively, understanding that it's just one perspective among many. They can accept criticism without allowing it to define their self-worth. Another sign of strength is the ability to be at peace with your own identity. When you stop seeking validation, you start to embrace yourself fully. You accept your flaws, your mistakes, and your imperfections as part of who you are. You stop apologizing for being yourself and stop trying to fit into someone else's mold. Strong people know that they are unique, and that uniqueness is their power. They don't waste energy trying to be someone they're not or conforming to the expectations of others. Instead, they own their individuality and are unapologetically themselves. This self-assurance also allows strong people to build more meaningful relationships. When you don't seek validation, you enter relationships from a place of strength. You are not looking for someone else to complete you or to make you feel worthy. You come to relationships with a sense of wholeness, and you attract people who appreciate you for who you truly are. Your relationships become deeper and more authentic because they are based on mutual respect and understanding, not on the need for constant affirmation. Operating without the need for validation also empowers you to take risks and pursue your passions without fear of judgment. When you are free from the need to please others, you can follow your own desires with boldness. You can make decisions that align with your true calling, regardless of how they might be perceived by others. You are not limited by the fear of failure or rejection because your sense of worth does not hinge on the outcome. This allows you to take action in ways that others might hesitate to, and it opens doors to opportunities that you might have otherwise missed. In addition, strong people often become more resilient when they stop seeking validation. They are less likely to be swayed by negative opinions or setbacks because their confidence is rooted in something deeper. They understand that failure is not a reflection of their worth, but a part of the process of growth. They don't let rejection or criticism crush their spirit. Instead, they view these challenges as opportunities to improve, learn, and evolve. Because their sense of self is not contingent on others' approval, they are able to bounce back from setbacks with a renewed sense of purpose. When you stop seeking validation, you are also able to focus more on the things that truly matter. You can focus on personal growth, your passions, your goals, and your happiness. Your energy is no longer drained by trying to please everyone, and you can direct that energy toward creating a life that aligns with your true self. This shift allows you to pursue your dreams with clarity and intention, knowing that your worth is not dependent on how others perceive you. Ultimately, the ability to operate without seeking constant validation is one of the strongest attributes a person can possess. It is a sign of deep inner strength and self-respect. Strong people understand that their value is not determined by the opinions or approval of others. They know that they are enough just as they are, and that is the foundation upon which they build their lives. One of the most powerful signs of strength in a person is their ability to maintain a sense of purpose in the face of adversity. Life is full of challenges, setbacks, and moments when it feels like everything is falling apart. Yet the strongest individuals are not those who avoid difficulties, but those who face them head-on with a clear vision of what they want to achieve. They stay committed to their goals, even when the road ahead seems unclear or impossible. Maintaining a sense of purpose during difficult times requires resilience, determination, and the belief that things can and will improve. When faced with obstacles, many people feel tempted to give up, to let go of their dreams, or to settle for something less than what they truly desire. But the strong understand that adversity is not a reason to abandon their path, it is simply a part of the journey. They view challenges as opportunities for growth, not as signs to stop. Their purpose serves as a constant reminder of why they started in the first place. The key to maintaining purpose in tough times is having a deep understanding of why your goals matter. If you're working towards something because it's expected of you or because others think it's important, it's much easier to lose motivation when faced with obstacles. However, when your goals are rooted in your values, passions, and desires, you are more likely to push through adversity. Strong individuals are clear about their why, and it is this clarity that keeps them moving forward, even when things get difficult. It's also important to remember that setbacks don't equate to failure. Everyone experiences moments of doubt, frustration, and exhaustion. Even the strongest people face moments where they feel like they're not making progress or like they're failing at something. But they know that failure is not permanent, it's simply a step along the way. Strong individuals embrace failure as part of the learning process. They understand that success is not achieved through perfection, but through persistence and the ability to adapt and grow from mistakes. When you maintain your sense of purpose, you can look at failure not as a reason to give up, but as a lesson to learn from. One of the reasons strong people are able to maintain their sense of purpose is because they have developed a mindset that allows them to focus on what they can control. It's easy to get overwhelmed by circumstances, especially when things aren't going your way. The world can feel like it's against you, and it can be easy to feel powerless in the face of challenges. But those who are strong know that while they can't control every aspect of life, they can control their response to it. They choose to focus on what is within their power, whether that's their effort, their attitude, or their ability to make small adjustments to their approach. Maintaining a sense of purpose is also tied to self-belief. Strong individuals trust that they are capable of overcoming challenges and achieving their goals, even when it seems impossible. They understand that success isn't about never facing difficulties, but about having the confidence to keep going in spite of them. This belief in themselves fuels their determination. They know that no matter what obstacles come their way, they have the strength and resilience to navigate through them. Another aspect of maintaining purpose through adversity is the ability to stay flexible. Life rarely goes according to plan, and the path to success is seldom a straight line.